Hey everyone, it is Professor Hatch, and I want to talk about the cultural genocide outline. I am going to share my screen. So here's the assignment. Um, Obviously, it's missing the video, but it'll be there soon. And this will be a link to a document that I generate while I make this. In any case, for the full essay prompt, please click on this link here, and it gives you the full essay prompt, which at this point, I'm just assuming you've read and watched the video for. In any case, moving on. The essay prompt tells you what it is you need to write about. The outline is telling you what it is I'm looking for. And so I want to talk about the outline. I got outlines from a few people for the previous essay, and it was clearly just like a partial rough draft. I'm actually looking for the outline to be in this format with a one saying intro and then a or a dot or whatever saying thesis statement, and then following that, what is the actual thesis statement, right? So, and so on and so forth for the rest of this. So all I'm looking for is for just these few things from the first four body paragraphs, or well, the first four paragraphs, I should say, the intro paragraph and the three body paragraphs. So down here, it says you can click on the link that says English 1A outline template. I've already done that and downloaded it to my computer, and I've brought it here. I believe I'm sharing my entire screen. I must be sharing my entire screen. I'm just gonna be double sure that I'm sharing my entire screen. Yes. All right. So first off, looking back over here at the assignment, only one quote is required for each. It's 1,000 words is a small essay. It's 5 paragraphs. So we don't need a body paragraph with two pieces of evidence. So I'm getting rid of the second set of evidence from that first body paragraph. That's just there to show you how to do it if you ever need to. And then the second thing is we need to decide, well, actually, let's get rid of all the things we don't need. We don't need any of that. We don't need anything after body paragraph 3, including whatever description that is at the end there, talking about evidence and blah, blah, blah. So this is what we've got. So now we need to do is decide what it is we're going to do with each of our body paragraphs. So the assignment is to define cultural genocide and then show two specific examples of cultural genocide currently happening in the world. So what makes the most sense to me is when I do caps, define cultural genocide. And then, I don't know, I guess example one of, I'm just going to say CG because y'all are smart enough to know I'm not talking about computer graphics. So anyway, example 2 of cultural genocide. So that's how we've got our 3 body paragraphs broken down. I'm not even going to work on the thesis statement yet. The one thing I do recommend, you have to do 2 sources from the reading list from the prompt, which I've already talked about in a different video, so I'm not going to go into that here. But you also have to find a source from from our library's academic database, and it needs to be from a scholarly peer-reviewed journal. So I am just going to go with the assumption. I'm just going to make up I'm making quotes up for this entire thing because I'm not going to make you watch a video of me searching for evidence because that's the most tedious, god awful thing in the world. Probably, maybe an insurance seminar or getting a root canal. I don't know. Anyway, moving on. You don't need for the body paragraphs, you don't need analysis, not for the outline assignment. You obviously do for the rough draft and the final draft. So I'm getting rid of the analysis in each of these. And what we're left with is everything you have to do for this assignment. So topic sentence, which is the main idea of the paragraph. And this is paragraph 1, where we're talking about defining cultural genocide. Um, and I'm not actually even going to look anything up. I'm going off the top of my head, and I know that what I come up with off the top of my head will not be necessarily the most accurate definition, and certainly won't be complete. But um, cultural, I'm just going to let that happen. It'll culture. There we go. Watch, this is great. Hey, it corrects it. Anyway, cultural genocide is the attempt to wipe out a culture, wipe out the culture of one group of people, is the attempt by a dominant group of people to wipe out the culture of another group of people. All right, there we go. So what could be what could obviously there's the genocide that we're talking about, and certainly the genocide that I'm uh having you read about with those articles in the essay prompt. We're talking about basically racially based genocide, talking about Armenian genocide, the genocide aimed at Native people in Canada, the Uyghur Muslims in China. And we could, though, also be talking about, I don't know, I don't know, we could be talking about the dominant culture here in America targeting trans people, queer people, or I don't know. We could be talking about people who are on the religious right, targeting people who are Muslim, or I don't know, Mormons or whatever. Um, you get the idea. Also, obviously, Jews, which is not, I say obviously because it seems as though Jewish people are and have been targeted constantly for centuries. Um, Obviously, World War II and the genocide that happened there was horrific, but we have seen a sharp rise in anti-Semitism over the last several years. I'll let you speculate as to why that might be. I don't need to go into my opinions about why that is in this video. So anyway, there's my topic sentence. Cultural genocide is the attempt by a dominant group of people to wipe out the culture of another group of people. Now I need to find evidence that supports this. And again, I'm not going to find evidence for the purposes of this video because I want to keep it as short as possible. So I'm literally just going to type some quote from a scholarly peer reviewed journal, um, talking or talking about cultural genocide. All right. And here, let's actually put it in quotes. That'll be fun. Genocide. Ooh, and the second quote goes before the period, not after the period, but before the period. And then, of course, there would be a citation here, author, blank space, and then I'm just going to make a page 3. I found that quote on page 3 by the fake article by the fictitious author. All right, so there's my quote. Obviously, this is going to take you much longer. I don't know about much longer, but it's going to take you a little more time because you have to actually find a quote. Context, I'm just going to set this up. And we've talked about essay structure in class by this point, so I'm not going to go into a whole long thing discussing how to do each of these. I'm just going to give an example for this first paragraph. Um, 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 hmm. Author, Fader discusses uh, the various ways a dominant group in ant group can attempt to destroy another group's culture um, in his work, I don't know. I don't know. In his work, destroy all Jedi. Um, this is beyond stupid. I could, if I really honestly wasn't sick, I think I'd be able to come up with an example that isn't so profoundly stupid, but I am sick, so this is what I'm doing right now. Anyway, so that's you giving the context, and then you've already got your quote, and then honestly, all you have to do here for the transition is now that um, uh, we have a working definition of genocide, we can look at a, oh, sorry, now that we have a working definition of cultural genocide, we can look at a current example of it. And like, let's just go with it for the sake of argument, current can be honestly the last couple decades. It doesn't have to really be this instant. Um, if you can find, well, you've got to use those articles. So yeah, let's just say from the last 50 years. In any case, don't worry too much about it. Those articles will have good examples. We can look at a current example of it. Now that we have a working definition of cultural genocide, we can look at a current example of it. So now I'm going to go into my topic sentence for paragraph 2, and this is the last thing I'm going to write for this example. But yeah, oh man, I can't even. China is currently engaged in the cultural genocide, targeting. I'm going to seriously have to look it up. I'm going back over to my browser. Yeah, cultural. Yeah, there it is. Cultural genocide in China. There it is. I'm not even going to try to remember how to spell this because I'm too lazy. So I am literally just going to copy that thing. We're going back over here. Targeting the Uyghur Muslims in, I can't remember, Xinjiang. That I can remember. Uh, in Xinjiang. So there, we have a transition leading into the next idea. We have a topic sentence. So now you've got to find an article that is talking, well, not find an article. You've already got the article. So read the article. If you're going to go with the Chinese example, then you've got to go with the article talking about the persecution of the Uyghur Muslims in Xinjiang. Um, and then I don't know, what would another example be? The Armenian genocide, which that's actually about a century old at this point, maybe even a bit older. I fuck it, go back a century. That's fine with me. Um, these are just I found these articles, and yeah, I don't know. Some of them aren't going to be all that recent. There's plenty of recent examples of cultural genocide aimed at Native Americans, both here in our country and in Canada. They were sterilizing pregnant Indian women as they gave birth without their knowledge, as recently as when I was a child. So, early to mid 70s. And for all I know, that's going on. I don't think it's going on anymore. I really hope it's not, but I'm sure it went on much longer than that. But that I have read of forced sterilization against patients' knowledge, and certainly against their will, as recently as the 70s. So that's horrific. But anyway, you get the idea. So that is all you need to do for this. Obviously, the hard part is going to be finding your quotes. And then the rest of it, like, honestly, it's not that much work to come up with a topic sentence. Remember, This isn't even a shitty rough draft. This is the outline that's going to be turned into the shitty rough draft. You don't need to be writing prize-winning text here. Just do the job that it's asking for. Topic sentence, come up with a topic sentence. What are we talking about in this paragraph? Set up the quote, and then you'll have the quote, and then transition to the next thing. And that's really everything you have to do. I'm gonna go back, I think, over here to the thing. The right here will be the Word doc that I literally just made, and the video will be just above it. I'm gonna stop my screen share. So hopefully this video is only 15 minutes. If you have questions, of course, while working on this, then by all means text me on Remind. Of course, you can always ask me in class, assuming I'm not still sick. I've been sick a lot. It's been a rough semester already. It's only like week 4 or 5. Anyway, you don't need to hear me whine. Yeah, text me and remind if you have questions, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. And as always, please text me and remind any time of day. So if you've got a question at 3 in the morning, text me at 3 in the morning. It won't wake me up, and I'll get back to you when I wake up. All right, I'm going to shut up now. I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.